Hi, guys. Welcome to today's reading on toxic family and what soul lessons have you learned. So, today we're going to take a spiritual approach, a more positive, bigger picture approach to this conversation of these very difficult relationships that, we were, forced to be in, right? Um, Another thing as well is that one of my lights is out. So we're going to be working in a more dimmer setting today. And I believe that's also a message, and that's part of the reading is because this toxic family member or members have really um, dimmed your light, and you've had to function with dimmer lights, which is what we're going to do I'm going to do in today's reading. But the show must go on, right? That's what I heard when I was dealing with these lights, and I'm like, oh, why, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, nope, the show must go on. And I think, that's definitely a message here as well for everyone. Okay, so anyways, let's get into the pile selection. For group one, we have the Bloodstone and Fear. I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. Group two, Garnet with Blame. I accept responsibility for my well-being. And group three, Purpose, and this Amethyst. I know what I'm here to do. So go ahead and select your pile using your intuition, and I will see you in your reading. Hi, group one, and welcome to your reading with this Bloodstone on your toxic family and what soul lessons you've learned. Okay, so I hope that I can do this reading justice. I'm just going to come out and say that. So I'm going to say that I feel that, with this shaman and completion card, this reading is sort of like, people are going to be, who selected this reading, are going to be at different stages of this, right? Because this is a lot of healing that's coming in through this reading as well. So I'll just start from the top. With this Fear card, I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. That's the card you picked. And as I was shuffling, I kept hearing that Eminem song, like, I'm not afraid to take a stand. Everybody come take my hand. We'll walk this road together, something like that, right? And so, I'm getting the sense that, like, this situation, this toxic family member or toxic family situation that you've been in it's really, really taught you on a really, really deep level, because I'm getting the base chakra with this is like it's this survival instinct, this desire to just take a stand, to have courage, to stand in the face of fear and just be bold. I'm getting this really, really bold feeling, and with Oshun and fearless love. So standing in faith, because I'm like, love to me is the opposite of fear. Faith is the opposite of fear. Courage, standing in the face. What's that saying? Is like, men of courage are men of faith, or something like that. All men who have courage have faith, and I think with you guys, the soul lesson is to have this really bold faith. We walk in faith, or we walk in faith, not by sight. We walk in faith, or we walk with faith. That verse from the Bible, I don't know, for some reason I'm not quite getting it right. We walk in faith, not by sight. We walk with faith, not by sight. Anyways, it's a strong, strong faith, and it's something that's rooted so deep in you, because I'm seeing it like the roots of a tree, that are so firm. It's this strong, firm foundation. It's just this very strong faith, this very strong love, and it's a fearless faith, courage, love. It's very strong, and it's very powerful. And here with healing the motherline, healing ancestral work, motherline, growing up, I'm also getting that this deep rootedness, this groundedness, it also, it's like you're learning to love yourself, like with healing the mother line. You know, for some of you, this could be literally that's the toxic person that we're referring to as your mother. Um, or it could be like just the feminine aspect, or, for a lot of you, it is your mother. It could just be the feminine aspect as well, where I'm talking about, like, when I'm talking about this love, like, okay, how can I explain this? It's really learning how to mother yourself, right? So everything that you feel like you've always craved, you've always yearned for, the love, the compassion, just that divine feminine energy, that divine mothering energy, love, compassion, unconditional support, all of those things. It's like I'm just seeing this as like heart medicine with this wolf card. Let go of that which does not serve your highest good. I see this as like this healing of, mothering yourself, giving yourself all of those things that you've always yearned for, that nurturing, that loving, all of those feminine aspects, all of those feminine qualities, and doing so from a place that's unconditional and completely loving, something that is completely magical, almost something that is almost like separate from society and the world that we live in today. And what I'm referring to when I'm saying that is because, when I'm looking at this fear card, I'm thinking about like elements that are of that frequency of fear. So times when we've been raised, or when we're younger, it's always, not always, but a lot of times there's certain things about us that have been like persecuted, or have felt persecuted with this Kadesh and sexual wisdom. It's like, these feelings of shame, these feelings of not being good enough, or not this enough, or you should be ashamed of this, or guilty of this, and it just pulls us out. But it's all based in this fear, right? And like I'm just feeling this is like, this is like the healing work that's happening along, your mother line, that's being referred to, that's like healing for your heart. And it's something that you're giving yourself. It's like, it's like you're no longer going to be living in this energy of shame, and some of this can be tied, like, for some reason, I'm getting this religion aspect as well. I mean, I don't necessarily see this in the cards, but this is an example of what I'm referring to, and I'm being told to share is, how religion can shame us, for our sexuality. It can shame us for expressions of ourselves, or you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to be this way. And it's like, and it's not just religion, it could be cultures of repression. I'm just feeling this really closed off, repressive sort of thing. And it's like, the soul lesson you've learned is to love yourself fearlessly, complete love, in the absence of fear, in the absence of shame, and the absence of all of these things, and really having that love and that compassion for yourself. And, here with improving your health is like, maybe like for some of you, I'm not going to get too much in this sexual wisdom aspect, but maybe this is something that you need to explore, and how it can really improve your health. Like, and this is part of the healing that we're talking about with this sexual wisdom. This is connected to this healing of the mother line, so so that's something for some of you to look into as well. But one thing I do see is that, with all of this healing that's taking place, it's something that is going to really, really strengthen, and you're going to be letting go, and you've learned to let go of things that aren't in your highest good. And it's almost like these are old, with this 8 of air, right? An illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, afraid to take action. And I'm seeing this with heart medicine, being like, and letting go of the things that don't serve you. And this is being medicine for your heart, medicine for your spirit, medicine for your soul, and healing. It's like activating your heart chakra so powerfully that, it's going to unlock this okay, it's going to unlock like some magical healing powers within you with the shaman card and completion. And so some of you guys, not some, I don't know, whether you're a shaman, whether you're a witch, whether you're a magician, whether you're a healer, any type of healer, it's the category of a healer, and realizing that it is in your blood and it runs very deep in your ancestry as well. It's just that this energy of love, I'm thinking of Jesus right now, of that unconditional love, that level of love and that healing that he had, like that's the type of healer that I'm talking about here, right? And so this heart medicine that we're talking about, and loving yourself unconditionally, and letting go of all those things that don't serve you, all the things that have been keeping you trapped mentally, letting go of all those ideas, those false ideas, with this 8 of air. So again, we're talking about these like cultural ideas, religious ideas. It doesn't matter, any idea that's come from, the past, with the past in reverse, all the things that have hurt you in the past. And some of these things, it's like you're going to have to take an inventory. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, which is I'm getting here with this Write a Gratitude list. And the past, well, it was in reverse. And so it's funny because the card is this way, right? And she's writing. And so when it's upside down, you can actually see what's written here. Anyway, there's something about that. Maybe it'll reveal itself after. But today I am thankful for. So it's really just taking a look at the past, and it's not shutting the door on the past, right? Because the past, here we have the 2 of Pentacles twice, right? Oh my God. And it's like holding on to the past with this 4 of Pentacles. And then now we have the 2 of Pentacles upright. And so to me, this is really looking like, just the instability, the turmoil, the ups and downs of the past, and really holding on to it. And eventually it's like, it balances itself out, like it's like the spirit will come in and balance it out, but it's a need to not shut the door on it. It's a need to examine it, examine the ideas and the thoughts and the thought patterns and these beliefs and all these things. And really, it's like taking an inventory of yourself, of your life, of the things that have harmed you, that have wronged you, that have created the thoughts and the beliefs and the things that you now have and now hold, and perhaps even ways that you've acted in the past, things that how you've wronged people in the past, things that you weren't happy or that have contributed to your instability, like with based off of just these things that have been passed down to you, these things. And I'm talking about not just your family, but, because it's like our families are in the context, these family members are in a context, right? Like, and again, I keep getting this idea of religion and culture, religion and culture, beliefs, shame, guilt, repression, a lot of these fears of having to believe certain things, act a certain way, have come from these like cultures, these religions, that we've had to grow up in, right? So it's like, in this reading of the lessons that we've learned. So anyways, I'm just going to get back to the soul lesson that you've learned is really to live in this energy of love. And it's really an energy of courage, an energy of faith, and walking in that way, and to look at the past within courageously within this energy, and to allow it to really help you examine your ideas, your beliefs, everything that has kept you trapped, and kept you in this state, the state of fear, right? And and again, I just have to keep saying this. It's like you do come from a bloodline of shamans, of healers, of witches, magicians, priests, priestesses, all of the above, healers, wolf medicine, heart medicine. You have a very, very strong heart, very strong heart. And it's like, it's just this unlocking of this healing energy within you. Because when I'm thinking of the heart, I'm thinking green, like that emerald green of Archangel Raphael, right? Which is healing, as well. And it's something very magical and something very mystical. And it's like, when people talk about love and it being like the only thing that's real, the only thing that at the end of the day really exists. And then here we have this healing as well. Like, what is it? I forget what it's called, but that snake type thing. It's like that, improving health. Here we have heart medicine, improving health, healing. Anything else? And love. Love. Completion is the shaman, which is the ultimate healer. And then power, with this rattle, like shamans use rattles, right? To rattle and to power up, and to sort of go into this sort of trance, and so I'm just seeing a lot of power in this as well. And this is something that runs really, really deep, where you can take, this instability and hold it, and then create balance and harmony. So that's the lesson is courage, And another song, what's that? I don't know if it's like Michael Bublé. I don't even know. It's like that song. I don't know if he remade it or it's like, birds flying high. You know how like it's a new dawn. It's a new day. And I'm feeling good. And I feel that that's like the completion of this. It's like a new dawn and it's a new day and I'm feeling good. Because you've released all of these limiting ideas, these things that kept you trapped, and it was just an illusion all along. It's like the mental aspect, right? The mental aspect, ideas, beliefs, and it's like there's so much healing that needs to take place. And this isn't just within like, this toxic family member, this mother, or but it's a big part of it is like seeing it in context of the culture, the religions, the ideas, the shame, the guilt, the all of these types of things, right? Around sexuality, it's. And like now, for some reason, these peacock feathers are really standing out. And I'm just getting this really timid energy as well. Like maybe this, with peacocks, it's really about showing yourself, right? And it's interesting because it's the male peacocks that get to really stand out and show themselves. So maybe you come from a culture where or something where the male is very much valued or is able to stand out and show its colors, where women, it's like they sort of have to sit, be more reserved, or if you're too out there, it's too much, or it's just these ideas around, with these peacock feathers. It's more ideas and beliefs around masculinity, and or maybe it's in your family, it was the male that received a different type of attention, a different type of praise, a different type of love, whereas, so this is going to be different for everyone, these beliefs and these ideas that have kept you tied, right? But the idea here is to really live in this energy of love and to really examine all of these things. Or, as I said, you guys are going to be in different parts of this, right? And the end part being this completion of being this ultimate healer, this heart healer, having a really strong heart chakra. Anyways, I don't want to keep going on and on, but this is just a really powerful reading. Like, I really hope that I did it justice, because this is like very profoundly spiritual, right? I feel that in my heart, honestly, and that's that heart medicine. So I just feel this really, really strong, powerful, and I keep seeing this green, this emerald green with Archangel Raphael as well. So Anyways, guys, that is your reading on what soul lessons have you learned. It's to live in the energy of love, of courage, of faith, and walking in that and giving yourself that love that you've yearned for all this time. And that's going to activate your heart in such a way and allow you to release all of these ideas, these beliefs, that society, that your family, everything and everything, and let go of all that doesn't serve you. And it's going to be so powerful, and it's going to unlock this really, really ultimate major healing energy within you, because you are shamans, like I said, you are priests, priestesses. It's in your bloodline. It's in your bloodline, you know, but it's like this fearless inventory of the past, of looking at your past, you know, has to really take place. And then doing it again from the energy of love, and really having a gratitude and letting go of all the ideas and the things that didn't serve you. So hopefully I did this reading justice. Like I really hope that I did, because it's so powerful. But anyways, I feel like I'm rambling on. Okay, guys, I hope this reading was helpful for you. Yeah. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. Please comment, share your, you know, ideas or your thoughts, or if this resonated, I really would love to hear it. And like this video as well, if it resonated. Okay, thanks, guys. Bye. Hi, group 2 with this Garnet. Welcome to your reading on your toxic family and what soul lessons you have learned. So, you know, I feel like with your group, some of the soul lessons that you've learned are how to deal with major unexpected changes. You know, with this Tower card here, and it's like for a sense of like a combination of things, okay? Because here we have blame. I accept responsibility for my well-being. Here we have rebel. Challenges authority to effect social change. Rejects spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs. And then the shadow is rejects legitimate authority out of anger. Rebels out of peer pressure or fashion. So, and then, okay, so with this Tower, I just get this sense of like, you guys are just up for the challenge, you know? Like, I just feel this, even when you're unsure about things, I just feel this sense of like this, I want to say this rebellious spirit, but it's not even rebellious. It's like really accepting responsibility for your life, for your well-being, being willing to undergo major changes and transformations to yourself, in order to care for yourself. Here we have loosen your grip, coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in. So, you know, it's like maybe you guys have let go of different coping mechanisms, thought patterns, addictions, you know, whether it's food or people pleasing or caring what other people think, or anything like that, or even just like with this I remember soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. It's like, you know, with the fated life is really about, you know, what people have, you know, just kind of walking the path that's just sort of like there, like, you know, filling, it's almost like you stepping into an identity, whereas the destiny life always requires, it's like stepping into what you really signed up for before you incarnated, sort of thing. So it's like what your soul agreed to, you know, it's like doing the hard work, you know, and that's really what I'm getting with like facing these challenges. You have the 7 of Wands showed up twice, you know, in your reading, and it's like really having this like, I don't know, this really strong spirit, this really courageous spirit. You know, from this, it's like, it's interesting the way that these are depicted. And this card, it's very much like, you know, he's just going after, you know, it's a challenge, but he's fighting. He's like a fighter, right? And he's sort of dominating over others, right? And again, this rebel card is really standing out. It's like just really rebelling to get rid of things that aren't serving you, that aren't good for you. And then that bring you this sense of like peace and serenity. Like that's what I'm getting from this 7 of Wands. It's almost like, you know, having to go through these challenges so you can fight for yourself and fight for your peace, and having the confidence, the courage, and all those things to do that. And, the reason why I say it's like fighting for your peace is because here we have sweat lodge as well. Like, when we think of a sweat lodge, I think about just cleansing, right? It's like a detoxification of your body. You're sweating it out. You're yeah, you're just it's it's detoxing your body, right? Your physical body. And of course it has like spiritual like purifying your space, purifying your body. Our body is, our temple in a way, right? I'm getting that sense with this woman right here. And I just see you as somebody who is able to change their own karma, right? It's like, so the fated life, it's like, okay, how can I explain this? It's like you're willing to undergo these major changes just so you can switch up your karma, and weave the web of life that you really signed up for. Like, it's like the road less traveled, like the hard shit, like you want to do the hard shit, um So it's like you really have learned how to deal with a lot of grief, a lot of sadness, and it's really taught you how to change your perspective on what that is. It's almost like you have a spiritual perspective, when things aren't working out, when things aren't good for you. I'm almost thinking of like, this is just the example coming up, but I'm not saying that you're, addicted to alcohol or anything like that, but like, it's just as an example with this addictions and coping mechanisms, right? A lot of times when people try to cut out, like say they're addicted to sugar or food or coffee or whatever, right? Their body is physically addicted to these things. And I feel like, with you, it's like it's like a major transformation that takes place when you get rid of these things, right? Because it isn't just a physical thing that you're addicted to. There's some type of spiritual aspect. There's some type of spiritual reason why we also become dependent on these things, or it's almost like it's like filling up a hole. So I just see you as somebody who is willing to transform, willing to change their thoughts, their beliefs, their ideas. And it's like almost like getting a different perspective of what this addiction is, what this coping mechanism is. It's like you're able to see it like on a much deeper level, and each time deciding to undergo this challenge, and each time that brings you closer to your destiny, and each time that like it brings you like better karma in a way. You know what I mean? Because it's like you are like letting more of God, more of spirit in. And it's like this transformation keeps taking place. So I just see that this toxic family member has really just like instilled this really strong spirit within you. It's like a fighting spirit. It's a fighting spirit. One that like has helped you really reject things that don't serve you. It's like someone who rejects authority, or someone who rejects things because they know that it's not for them, and is willing to put in the work to fight the battles, to really change themselves, really transform themselves, and really accept responsibility for their whole life, and for themselves. I accept responsibility for my well-being. And I think it also has made you somebody who really takes care of themselves as well, with this earth card here. Someone who's just very rooted. So I just feel someone who's really healthy, someone who cares about their health, their well-being, their spiritual health, their personal development, Someone who struggles, and when I say struggles, I mean is like accepts challenges to grow, to do better, especially with this Page of Swords. Like when I think of the Page of Swords, I think of someone who is always forever young mentally, in the sense that they're always willing to learn, they're always willing to adapt, they're always willing to change their ideas, their beliefs. If a new idea comes in that's more suitable, they're willing to discard of the old. It's like you keep having these tower moments and you keep evolving and growing and things like that, right? Because it's like you're always trying to get better and better and better and better. And it's like it's almost like it's helping you weave your this life for yourself with karma. And I remember it's like making you more of yourself each time. Like I'm getting like I'm hearing like what's it called? Like positive disintegration, right? I don't know where I'm getting that from, but it's like building yourself up, because I'm seeing this as the ego. It's like building, you thinking you know who you are, and then all of a sudden, being willing to discard everything that you think you know in exchange for something better, right? And it's like an evolutionary thing, and that's what I'm getting with honesty here as well. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. And it's like when you are honest with yourself, you're able to purge out the things that aren't serving you anymore, anything. And it's like there's so much, it's like a shedding. Like that's what I'm getting to with this this Three of Swords and this water. It's like, again, with these swords falling out, it's like the shedding of these ideas and these beliefs and this thinking and these old ways, right? So yeah, so that's what I'm getting. And it's really interesting because it's like I'm seeing these trees and these roots, and just getting the sense of being very well rooted, but at the same time able to discard of things. So it's sort of like this interesting balance of being very, very well rooted, but at the same time being willing to uproot things that aren't stable. Like say this tower, for example. Like a tree is very well rooted. This tower is not. It can come and be struck and fall over. So it's like constantly adapting and removing things that aren't well rooted in your life, that aren't stable, that aren't secure, that aren't really meant to be there for the longevity, and resisting the things that are temporary or aren't real. And that's what I'm getting with like this loosening your grip. It's like you have a looser grip on things. Like you're not so attached and clinging on. And it's not just to ideas. Maybe it's people, it's places, it's things. It's like you're able to let go of things easily. Like with this purge and the sweat lodge, it's like letting go of clutter, like like you're able to adapt easily and to let go of things. Because it's like you have just a different perspective on what challenge is, right? Like I feel like some people, when they go through challenges, they're always like, oh, this is so hard, or this is so difficult, or I don't know. I don't know how to explain this, but with you, I feel like it's almost like a welcome thing. It's a welcome thing in a way. Like, cause there's like a very spiritual element to it. It's like a perception. There's something about this perception here. I remember. It's like a spiritual intelligence. I don't know. There's some type of spiritual intelligence. It's, I think that's here. And it's almost like embracing the challenges, welcoming the challenges, taking responsibility, all of these things, like bringing you closer and closer and evolving more and more, and always being ready to discard and let go and release, discard. Like it's like you're just constantly transforming. That's all there is. Constantly transforming and getting closer and closer to peace, right? And just letting go of just attachments. Yeah. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful for you. Um, and I hope I did it justice in how I've explained it, because this is more of a character trait, or um, a character quality. Um, you know, it's just like a deeper understanding of what challenges really are, and how they're meant to evolve you, and how they're and how it's like we're not to get too attached, and like it's almost like people like comfort. Comfort. When I think of addictions, when I think of like food, overeating, and it's like we fall into these habits, or these comfort zones, and it's like I just get like this character. It's you've transformed into this sort of person, or this, it's like a character quality of one that is always evolving and growing and changing, and being willing to reevaluate and themselves, and be honest with yourself, and discard of old ideas, old beliefs. And it's almost like you rebel against your old self a couple years ago. It's like maybe it started off with rebelling against this toxic family member, right? And like whatever structures that they put into place, and then later on, because you had the courage and the fight in you, later on you started to um, apply that same rebellion against your own self, and the structures that you placed in your own life. And this became part of your character, and to be up for these challenges, and to constantly be growing and striving, and clearing and detoxing not just your physical body, but also your mental, your emotional, your beliefs, all of these things. Because it's like you never wanted to be that type of person that gets so stuck, and get so stuck on like resisting change, or resisting things, when you're meant to sort of flow and evolve, and things like that. So it's just a strength. It's like a strengthening of your character, to somebody who is very adaptable, very intelligent, someone who is always like learning. And what this page is like, is sort of like a young, what was the word that just popped in? It just popped in my mind, and it just left just as quickly. And I think that's a representation. It's like things with you come, and then they go when it's time for them to go, you know? Um, and yeah, it's like you don't get too attached. How others may seek comfort in that familiarity, you know? Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so anyways, that is your reading. If you liked the reading, please give me a thumbs up. If it resonated, please leave me a comment down below. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. Take care, guys. Bye. Okay, welcome group 3 with this Amethyst on your toxic family, and what soul lessons have you learned? So, there's a lot of purple. I'm getting a lot of purple in your reading. So I just, feel this strong connection with your crown chakra being very open, um, and just being a very high vibrational. Like we have purple, 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 and more purple. It's just like really, really popping. And with light, you are light right here. So like I'm getting like light worker. I'm getting also attraction, like very realizing that you can attract the things that you desire and that you want, like how like moths to a flame I just heard, or like, um, I don't know, like mosquitoes to a light or something like that, right? That you're able to attract. And here we have oneness is the way. How can you show more compassion and acceptance towards those you don't understand? So, obviously we're talking about toxic family. And here too, you could see like earth angel, like as well, like with these angelic wings. You have the number 6, which is about like, this balance and harmony and things like that. So it's like, how can you show more compassion and acceptance towards those you don't understand? And how this has connected. So it's like, this is very much tied to this light worker. You know what I'm getting with this is like, and letting go. Everything is indeed out of control, and God will hold it all. I can safely let go. Like letting people be who they are. You've learned that, that has nothing to do with you. That has nothing to do with your karma. You can just like let go. And um, there's like here we have good juju, right? Instead of like taking it on, trying to change other people, trying to, fight fire with fire in a way. It's just like, I don't know, I'm just getting this feeling of like acceptance, allowing it to be, because it's like when we get bent out of shape, like, I don't know, I guess you're somebody who's very high vibrational, right? And someone who's very connected. So it's like the moment, it's like, I know for myself is like, if I spend too much time around certain people or overthinking certain situations, and then you get yourself bent out of shape, and then it's like boom, now I'm disconnected. I'm caught up, like my body, it's like you feel the adrenaline, the anxiety, the anger, the resentment, like all these things, and all of a sudden you're cut off, right, from that connection. And like that intuition, because it's like, our intuition is very subtle, and that crown chakra, that connection, right? And I just get with you is like you've really learned that it's okay for other people to be the way that they are, and to not take it personal. I feel like because when you can show compassion and acceptance, you're realizing that that's when you're successful with this success card. That's when you're successful in attracting things to you, like this light that you are. Setting your intention, allowing things to come to you, letting go, of these burdens, this heaviness, this instability, that you can find yourself, it's like juggling. And also too is like, when somebody wrongs you, like that's also what I'm getting with good juju, is like a lot of times when we're wronged by people, and it's almost like sometimes these people don't even realize how they are wronging us. They're so oblivious to it. And that's because they're so caught up in their own world. They're so caught up in their own selves. Like they're very, very self-centered, and they don't see how other things affect you. And it's like when you sort of let go of it, I feel like spirit, and that's where the good juju comes in. It's like, and then you just kind of move on with this Fool card, with having faith and moving on. It's like there's like good juju around that. There's good karma that comes from that. It's like when somebody wrongs you, and instead of like wishing ill on them, because somebody, people could say, oh, I want to get revenge, or I wish ill on them. And you just, instead, like, it's more like, okay, I accept that that's how they are. I'm not going to take it personal. I feel sorry for that person. It's like spirit comes in and like elevates you in some sort of way. Like, or there's some elevation that takes place with that, right? Like because it's like, it's still like a higher vibrate. Like that's what I'm getting. It's like you've sort of are learning that, staying in this optimal health, like with improving health, it also has to do with your spiritual health, your vibrational health, your energetic health. Like that's what I'm getting with this rainbow over here. And these colors, it's like, it isn't just about your physical body, it's about your energy body as well, your connection to the higher realms, like your crown chakra, your connection to your intuition, to other beings, whether it's angels, your ancestors, different, interdimensional beings. That's what's important, like fulfilling your purpose. I know what I'm here to do. And I feel like this family member, or this family, like part of the soul lessons that you've learned is like, okay, here's an example. Say you know what your particular purpose is and what you need to be doing. And so that requires you to stay with it, like in a certain vibration, right? In order for you to be connected, and to be sort of like, not driven, but guided, to be in flow, to do what you're doing. And I almost lost my train of thought right there. I lost my train of thought. Okay, well, maybe that example wasn't. Um, maybe that example wasn't it. The chariot in reverse and purpose. This just tied into the thought that I just lost, and I feel like it was just ripped away from me. Oh my God. Okay, so this is probably part of the message. It's like when you start to feel indecisive and or unsure about what your purpose is and things like that. And starting to have doubts and fears, or it's like, because here we have the Fool in reverse and then we have the Fool upright. It's almost like this limbo between the two, of having faith, wanting to move forward, and then having, being unsure, uncertain, indecisive, doubtful. It's like this back and forth. It's like when you're connected into your purpose, doing what you're to do, staying in this higher vibration. You're full of faith. It's a success. There's good juju. You're able to attract things to you. But then once you start to feel this burden of, anger, resentment, not understanding, questioning, all of these things, then that's when you get this feeling of being overburdened. So it's almost like a blessing in a way, because it's like a hard blessing. I feel like, it's like a hard lesson. It's like, well, do you want to be in your purpose? Do you want to move forward? And it's like almost motivating you to stay in this vibration, and then remembering that oneness is the way, right? And then that's how you're going to be. It's like this relationship, this toxic family is like teaching you what you need to do to fulfill your purpose in a way, or how you need to be, how you need to look at things, how you need to attract, how you need to, because it's like, hey, now you got a choice. Is it the Fool in reverse, or is it the Fool upright? Is it moving forward? Is it starting over, or is it having faith, or is it doubting? And it's like, it's very black or white. It's like, there's no gray area with this. You're either connected or you're disconnected. There's no, like, that's how I feel with this reading. It's almost like, yeah, it's like there's light or there's darkness. Are you shining your light, or are you in the dark? And it's like, it seems kind of extreme. It seems a little bit extreme. Are you closed off? Are you receiving, or are you closed off? And so, yeah, so like this is kind of like an intense sort of thing, like, but it very much is a lesson in, I feel like it's an extreme lesson, like, and when I say extreme, it's like it feels black and white, right? Connected, disconnected, full of faith, full of doubt. Are you holding on, or are you letting go? Right? And it's like Spirit's like, hey, make your choice. Which one is it right now? And are you carrying this burden, or are you going to be like this? It reminds me of, in like the Rider-Waite deck, he has this tiny little bag of just like a few material possessions. Are you going to be like lighthearted like this, or are you going to be, like this oppression card, like carrying the burdens on your back? Are you going to be light, or are you going to be heavy? Are you going to be, this light up here, or this darker, heavier down here? It's like that, one or the other. I'm just keep getting this one or the other, right? So, yeah, and then here even we have these two. I don't know what these are. These are hummingbirds, right? Are those hummingbirds? Very light, very high vibrational. Again, it's like you're really learning like what it is to stay in this high vibration, and to be this light worker, maybe this healer as well, and how important that your energetic health really is, to your purpose and to what you need to do. And so like this is like part of the soul lesson, um, and it's also that like when you are in this vibration, you don't need to work so hard. You could just set your intention, and things will just come to you, and it'll come to you easy, because there's no blockages in the way, the blockages that you can place on yourself when these things. And like even here in this photo, it's like there's a mirror here, so it's like things will be reflected back to you, right? um, it's like you're going to get the reflection of your intention and what you put out, if you're able to stay in this like high energy, high vibrational light state. And then here you can see the crystal, the purple crystal as well, right? So it's like the crown chakra right here. So yeah, so that's the soul lesson that you've learned, is like the difference between acceptance and letting go and holding on. It's like these very stark, it's like that duality, right? It's about duality, right? Um, and what that means for you, and how that really affects you, how you're, how that really affects you. Let's see what this she has here too. Yeah, so I guess there's two, one here and one here, so it's this duality yet again. Um, yeah, so that's the soul lesson, is like, um, and maybe like when we were talking about duality too, is like, and oneness. So maybe the oneness is both of those. It's not maybe always staying in this high vibrational. Sometimes it's like you do hold on, and then other times you let go, and you're going to keep going in and out of this. Times where it's going to feel heavy, and then it's going to move into times where it feels light. The same way we had the Fool upright and then the Fool in reverse, and like how those two will come together. It's like you can't always stay high vibrational at all times. Or maybe you can, like, I don't know, like that's up to you, right? So, but I think the lesson is how does that feel? What does that look like? What does that mean? Like, so yeah. So I think, you know, um, I think this is a really big part of it. It's like, it's almost like in training. It's like, I just felt like this feeling of like a light worker in training, getting to experience the different energies, right? And the impact that has on your body, the impact that has on your energy field, on what you can attract, like on, it's just getting to feel. I'm getting this juggling and this feeling of like, this is how this feels, and this is what this is, and just getting, it's like a different experience, right? And just getting to feel those different experiences. And so like, with this toxic family, it's like, are you going to be disconnected because of this person or this individual, or are you going to, like, how can you still interact with, or like, how can you bring it all together, right? It's like, how can you know what you're here to do, be in your purpose, be successful at it, and still sometimes have to hold this burden, right? Because it's like this burden's over here in the corner. This juggling is still over here, you know? Um, but then it's like your purpose and success and this light stuff is over here as well. And this, so it's like, I hope I'm explaining it well. I hope I'm explaining this well. Um, but I'm just really getting that this is like an experience. It's very much an experience. So yeah. So anyhow, that's your reading. I'm gonna leave it at that. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please give it a like. Subscribe if you'd like to see more